I want to talk a little bit about Ukraine versus England, England versus Ukraine. That's going to be the second match that we're going to have today, and it's the big match of the day. I mean, everybody's excited to watch England play again, and this is certainly, the first match of the day is a close. It's probably going to be a close affair. Denmark versus Czech Republic. I'm favoring Denmark. I think most people are, but those are fairly well balanced teams. Um, England versus the Ukraine. I think England are the huge favorites. We have a David versus Goliath situation here once again, but that doesn't always play out well for Goliath, as we've seen against when France played against Switzerland already in the round of 16, and also Spain against Switzerland. Spain was almost knocked out of the tournament by Switzerland, just like France was, and also Holland were coming into the game with the Czech Republic as big favorites, and also they failed to win. So I think it's not a given that England will go through, but I do think that they should be able to go through. I think they're the huge favorites, and in fact, I'm fancying England to win the tournament, to go all the way. At this point, I think they're the best team left. Not necessarily the best team in terms of how well they play, because I think that would be Italy at this point. And even Spain might be above England from the actual gameplay, for the way they actual play, move the ball. Spain has smashing possession. Italy plays very well. They have beautiful possession. They create chances. They're dynamic. They play as a team. England, I can't really say any of those things about England, but just what I can say is they're solid. They don't concede goals. So far, they haven't conceded any goals, I believe, in the first four matches, which is unbelievable. And if you don't concede goals, this is England's strength. If you don't concede goals and you have the kind of talent that England has at their disposal up front, with the likes of Jack Grealish, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, the big man of the tournament so far, Phil Foden, Mason Mount. So it's just a lot of talent that England has at its disposal, and we'll see who starts against the Ukraine. It seems that Jadon Sancho might get his first start for England, even though which is weird because Gareth Southgate came out and said, well, it would be disrespectful to rotate rotate the players against the Ukraine. It'll be disrespectful to the Ukraine. Also, it wouldn't be a good idea because we've only reached 3 semifinals in all of our history. So we should just focus on this game. So it would be weird if I think Jadon Sancho should probably have been starting from the beginning, but it's still, coming from Southgate, who said, no, I'm not going to rotate. If in fact Jadon Sancho starts, that could be a little bit weird because he hasn't really played so far. So in my opinion, actually, I think he should rotate a little bit, and I think the Ukraine is a good opportunity for him. If I were him, I would try to start, players like Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, and see what they got. At the same time, you're giving some rest to some of your other players who've played a lot of minutes, and you get everybody involved, everybody committed to the cause, and you can see maybe Jadon Sancho gives you a couple of goals in this game, and then you think, well, this guy should probably be starting. Same thing with Marcus Rashford. Harry Kane has looked very unimpressive so far, as good as he is, and Marcus Rashford is a fantastic player and he's sitting on the bench. Raheem Sterling, probably the key player for England in this matchup. He received a lot of criticism going into this tournament, and especially when people saw that Gareth Southgate was starting him. England also didn't look particularly impressive in the beginning of the tournament. Now I think people are starting to get on board because they have won 4 in a row, and crucially, they've won against Germany in a major tournament. And Raheem Sterling is the main man. He's scoring the goals. I think public opinion has been turned. Essentially, Raheem Sterling. You never know. It changes from match to match, and you never know. but Raheem Sterling, I think he has convinced people that he should be starting with his goals and in his performances. And to be fair, I mean, Raheem Sterling so far the best player for England. You know, I would say hands down the best player for England. He's getting the goals. He's the reference in attack even more than Harry Kane, because Harry Kane has only one goal to his name so far, and it was that late goal against Germany. So Raheem Sterling, the key player for England. Now for the Ukraine, I would say probably Zinchenko is their most influential player. We'll see what happens with Yarmolenko. He's probably their most their the best player that they have or up front. Guy had a good season in the Premier League, and he's a very talented player. I think he had a knock. I mean, he had an injury, so I don't know if he's going to start against England. If he does, maybe Yarmolenko will be a key player for the Ukraine. But I think Zinchenko really is the most important player for them, because he's had a fantastic season for Manchester City, and he's had a big influence in the Ukrainian team so far. He even scored in the last game. So, and he's a player that can play as left back. He can play in the midfield. He can be, I think he can even be used in attack. So I would say Zinchenko is the key player. All right. So this is kind of like my preliminary analysis. They haven't revealed the lineups yet. I'm really excited to see what the lineups are going to look like for England. But going into this game, I think England should get it done today, and I think that's going to be a good game. Thanks for watching.